Hi Sherifa, I'm just here to talk to you about feeding and the feelings that you have around that. Are you able to tell me what you have considered?
Okay. I don't know if breastfeeding is worth it, or even enough for my baby to be healthy, because I know it's really important that he flushes out the jaundice out of his system, and I think bottle feeding might be able to do that better at this point.
Yeah. No, it sounds like you might have some reservations about what is best for your baby's health in particular. Are you able to tell me more about that and just tell me why you think bottle feeding is better in your situation?
Well, it feels like all the babies in special care nursery, they're all being bottle fed. And, doctors keep repeating it, keep telling me about this, making sure baby's input is high and consistent. And if I'm being honest, my previous experience with breastfeeding just doesn't make the situation any better.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. I can see that what you want is to have the best for your baby and make sure that he's well and healthy, and that you're struggling a bit to find a balance between doing that and also ensuring that your baby gets the benefit of breastfeeding that we spoke about antenatally, because we did speak about that.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
I know you were keen on addressing your previous experience and making sure that this one is a bit better.
Yeah.
And we can still do that, even with the jaundice diagnosis. Do you think you're able to tell me what happened during your last pregnancy?
So with my daughter, I definitely gave breastfeeding a go. I thought it'd be quite much more easier than it actually was. I gave it a go, but after some time, and my mum can attest to this, after some time, it felt like she wasn't getting enough. And she was just constantly seemed fussy. So just mum kind of recommended that I top up with some formula. So I wanted to give it a breastfeeding a go, but it just didn't work out for me and my baby.
Yeah, actually, baby was so much better with the formula. She was not crying anymore and always settled the whole time. That gives her more time to rest as well.
Yeah,
it was what was best for her.
Well, I can see that what you both want is the best for your baby.
Yeah, of course.
And I think if we can work together, we can make Ziad a very happy and rested baby too, even breastfeeding. And I want you to think about where you want to do when Ziad is discharging. Where do you want to be in your feeding, and where do you see yourself in 6 months? What do you see yourself doing in 6 months in regards to your feeding? And I also just need you to think about how important is it for you to address breastfeeding now while you're here and while you have access to me and the midwife.
So like I said before, we've discussed the benefits of breastfeeding and how good it is for baby, and I just really want to besides obviously getting baby out of the nursery healthy, I do want to figure it out. I do want to give it another go. It is important for me to be confident with breastfeeding, because I feel like if I don't have that confidence, by the time I leave the hospital and I don't have your support, I can just easily kind of resort back to formula feeding. I did make a plan before I gave birth that I'm going to try exclusively breastfeeding for 6 months, but I think it might be a bit too much to ask at this point.
No, Sherifa, really, you're amazing, and lucky Ziad to have a mother like you that's so willing to explore that and give him the best.
Yeah.
Firstly, it is really important to know about the baby's stomach, and that it's so small, and especially in the first 2 days, the amount of colostrum you're making is really the perfect amount for your baby.
Yeah.
And will definitely be enough supply, and to start making a very positive impact in his gut health. So you and your baby are really, your bodies are really attuned to each other, and you guys can recognize what you need.
Yeah.
Secondly, the number of wet nappies and dirty nappies will give you an idea on how much your baby is getting and how.
That.
Yeah. So what I can do is actually I can give you a table that we use as a guide to help mothers understand what's expected in terms of how the milk, the number of feeds, and the wet and dirty nappies over the first week of life. Is that information that will be helpful to you?
Definitely. I'd love to see that paper and help me at all.
Absolutely. Well, I know you are worried, and we can work together to ensure the well-being of Ziad. I know you're also concerned about your baby's jaundice levels, and by breastfeeding, I just want to let you know that you're doing the best you can to help to eliminate that bilirubin that's causing the jaundice. And we can eliminate that out of your breastfeeding when we get the out of his body when we get the breastfeeding done. You can also request to be present and notified every time the baby is due for a feed.
Yeah.
And if you face any issues or have any concerns, we can ask for assistance from the midwives in the NICU. I can definitely help you out wherever possible. And we also have a lactation consultant at your disposal whenever you need it. Do you think that sounds helpful?
Yeah, I think I feel more confident now to kind of go in there, give it a go, really persevere with breastfeeding. And like you said, I can always ask the midwives in there if I have any concerns with like positioning or latching on.
I think what we can do now, moving on, is to clarify some goals and make sure that everyone around you and all the clinicians around you know about them and can support you in them. We can even list them on our new women-centered care boards, which are in your room. What are your goals for today, and what are your goals for this week overall?
So like I said earlier, I do want to try breastfeeding him every time opportunity I get. I want to kind of recognize his hunger cues, so I can, I can act on those, and hopefully, fingers crossed, just get him out of the nursery as soon as possible.
Perfect. Well, they sound really good, and it seems like it's very important for you to actually start that commitment to breastfeeding.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Yeah. And I am sure that when we start to address those goals, you will feel more confident in Ziad's well-being and feeding.
Mm-hmm.
We will definitely be working together to make sure you achieve your goals and you are in the most optimal position when discharged, and even in the more optimal position in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Remember that part of this journey is learning from the mistakes, and letting us know if there's anything we can do to help you be and feel more confident. I will come back tomorrow and see how you're feeling. I'll check on you and see if you have any questions, and we can update that goal board and make sure we're being on task with you and your goals.
Sounds good. Sounds perfect.
Nice.
Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you for that conversation.
I really appreciate it.
See you, Sherifa.
Bye-bye.